Hey.
Yeah, you're nuts.
I'm nuts?
Yeah.
Are you happy that it's raining?
Yep.
Why?
So we can play right back.
Why is Mila the only person that's dressed?
Because Mama didn't get my clothes yet.
You're blaming her?
Yeah, Mila over here. But look at my shawl over here.
You got your half of your outfit on. Now I gotta get the bottom half.
This is the best hiding spot.
It's raining. It's supposed to rain all day today. A lot of the people in the campground left, so which is kind of good news for us. We have a lot of this place to ourselves. Our neighbor left. Our neighbor to the other side, and also our neighbors over there left. It's not going to be too windy, I don't think, so we've got the awning out. That way we can sit outside. The problem we had last time is that we didn't have one side of the awning tilted like we normally do. So if you have this side lowered, all the water, in theory, flows this way to the lowest point and then it drains right there.
Triangle, circle. So if we go this way, it's going to be triangle, triangle. That's not our pattern.
Triangle.
Triangle, circle. Triangle, circle. Go to your circle, next circle.
He's doing school.
And circle, triangle, circle. And that's the froggy's pattern. Good job. Oh, you got a happy face. Yay.
Don't move too fast, I can't see it. I can't see your happy face.
Happy face.
Daddy, do you want to do that?
Yeah, you want to do the happy face for me?
But, Mommy, can you do it?
Well, let's do it with a marker.
Okay.
You want to do it with a marker?
No, too hard.
Too hard. Hi. Can our happy faces hug? Oh. I'm going to give you guys an update of the inside of our camper after 9 months of living in it full time. It's raining out. Maybe it's actually stopped a little bit. I don't know if I'll go outside and do an outside tour, chapter 2 or not, but I will give you the inside tour. One that's maybe a little bit more in-depth now that we've used it more and know what we like and don't like about it. So if you guys don't know, and I know that if you're a subscriber, you know, but if you're not a subscriber, first of all, I encourage you to subscribe. Down below, click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. We live on the road full time in our four-wheel camper. This is a Grandby model. And the inside, it fits on an 8-foot bed, long bed pickup truck. So from there to that wall is 8 feet, and it extends over, I think, another 3 feet maybe. So let's start from the back. By the way, this is my wife Marlene, Ava, Mila, and Luca, our 3 kids, and our cat Yoda. And again, if you're a subscriber and you follow us on our social channels, you already know that. But these videos get a lot of views, so I think there's a lot of people that don't follow or don't subscribe or watching these because they're interested in the four-wheel campers and what they look like and stuff like that. Okay, so real quickly, what we've done, we bought it pretty much like this, and we did a handful of just upgrades ourselves. Like we added the fantastic fan. This is a two-way fan. You can switch the direction inside and out. I have these wires mixed, so where it says out, it's actually in, and in is actually out. But it works. It's pre-wired, so the 2 wires that come out once you take out the vent, which normally looks like that. And this one is under our solar panel, so you can't really open it all the way. Okay, so we've done that upgrade. Other than that, it's pretty stock. Let's see. We added these little command hooks. There's not a dedicated place for a trash bag, so we put just a little bag there, grocery bag there for our trash, and we empty out every day. It's good for keys, good for dish towels, it's good for jackets when it's raining outside like this. And we also hang like our towels on it. We don't use terry cloth towels, we use like Turkish towel, which are kind of like dish towel material but big, so they're lightweight and they dry fast. Okay, next, let's see. Storage cabinet. Pretty happy with these. We end up using this counter space a lot to store stuff like you see here. So what's stored under these things become a little bit tough to get to. I don't know how to solve this problem other than maybe not having like a lift top panel and have the panels kind of open this way. And that would be nice, but then you wouldn't be able to get to the stuff in the back as easily. And also when the top is down, you can't open these. So that's kind of a tricky situation. Maybe if they had both the top lid and a side opening mechanism, that could be a really good solution for that. Just like these cabinets. This is like the kids' toys, or like bathroom stuff goes in there. And down here, this is where we store our Dometic porta potty, and also shoes in the way. Also, just some storage boxes for things that we don't use as much, but want to have around. So when we need to use the toilet, we just pull it out and we put it back in. It's kind of made for a toilet this size, so that's really nice. And when it's away, it's just away, out of the way. On this side, there's a switch for this light. Can't really see; it's kind of dark. We have these Ivation lanterns, which are really cool. They are LED, and they're charged via USB, so very handy. I'll put a link for those down below. Okay, so this is like the propane detector. You want it low because propane is heavier than air. So if it's leaking, it'll settle down and it'll set this detector off. Want to make sure that it's always working. There are switches for the options if you have lights outside. We don't, so we just have one switch. And that controls this light right here. Here's our battery compartment. I'll show you that. Here's one of the things that broke in the last 9 months of using this. And I think a lot of this happened in Mexico while we're just kind of driving around on dirt roads. This thing, it's screwed down by 4 like wood screws. And you can see the holes are right there. They literally just ripped out of the holes from all the dirt roads that we've been driving. So, but the batteries are still in there snug because they got these Velcro straps. So the batteries are good. These are 2 Group 24 AGM batteries. I had intentions of fixing it. Maybe getting longer screws or maybe filling those in. Or maybe drill new holes to get this back in there and fixed, but I've not done it. It's not really been a problem, so it has not been a priority. Okay, other things we've done. I added a 400 watt pure sine wave inverter. So it's not hardwired to anything, but I've got this little extension cord. Just a short little extension cord. Plugs in like that. I can turn it on. And then I got a little outlet and I can fish out of this door. It's a small camper, so just about like a 3-foot long extension cord is all you need. I just tuck it in here. If I'm not using it, I turn it off. And then up there is our solar charge controller. It's pre-wired, so the wire comes right in. And it's kind of an overcast day, so we're not actually getting that much solar. And there's our MT5 monitor. It's not a great monitor, but it works. It's kind of made to work with this charge controller. You know, it's a good inexpensive solution. And there's definitely better ones you can upgrade to. So that's kind of like the power center. I used to have this 4-port cigarette lighter socket thing plugged in, but I don't use it very much, so I actually don't even have it hooked up right now. Because I think there's a little bit of phantom drain. Anyways, that's that. Okay. Next, drawers. This is a drawer for all of our cooking stuff, like utensils, cooking utensils, forks and knives. It works pretty good. So the way that it works, there's like a little rubber stopper in the bottom. So when you push it all the way, it stops about 1 inch short, and then you lift it up, and it kind of locks in. So it doesn't open while you're driving, but it can open when you're going down bumpy roads, like these things are designed to do. So you can just go and it can hop out when you go over a bump. And once it hops out, I mean, anything could happen, right? This could just completely fall out. Forks and knives and utensils can just be all over the floor. And also what could happen if it doesn't fall out, it just kind of sits there and rattle. Everything inside kind of jumps around. And because it's just open to the cabinet below, a lot of these utensils have just jumped out and then fell to the cabinet below. And we'll find out, like, hey, you know what? We're missing 2 forks and a knives or whatever. And then we just open up the bottom where we store some of our food and find our knives and forks are underneath. So that's one thing. I don't know how you fix it other than building something a little bit more sophisticated than just, you know, wood drawer with a rubber stop. Furnace. This is the forced air furnace. No complaints about it, mostly because we've not used it very much. It just hasn't been cold. But we suspect once we get up to Labrador, Newfoundland, which is where we're headed. Right now we're in Nova Scotia. We'll use that. Another cabinet for food. This one goes really deep. It actually goes in and like turns the corner. And then back there is the water pump. So if you need to service the water pump, this is the hole you have to go through. And these little latches I've been pretty happy with. They don't open by themselves, even if they're bouncing around. And when you pull on this little handle, it opens pretty easily. Okay, next, thermostat. Works great, tells you the temperature. Also turns the heat on and off. Again, we don't use the heat very much, so we just kind of use it to see how cold it is in here or warm it is. This is our USB cigarette lighter plug power center. We got 2 of these double USB things in there that we are using pretty much constantly. Down here is the main metering system. Battery, we're down to 2 bars because it's not charging solar much at all. And then water, we're down to 2. Here's a switch for the water pump. These 2 110 volt outlets, AC outlets, they only work when we're plugged in, which we do have a 30 amp plug on the outside. The camper comes with a 30 amp to 15 amp adapter, so really there's nothing in here that can pull 30 amps. So I think 15 amps is plenty, just a regular electrical outlet. Below that, this is kind of like breakers and fuses. 12 volt fuses. And then these are the main AC breakers. And then over here, there's like a master switch. You can pull this out to kind of cut power to everything. Or push it in. Okay, I just cut power to everything. You can hear the fridge just went off. Pull it back out. This is kind of what you use when you put the camper away and not planning on using it for a while. We live in it full time, so we never use it. In fact, we hardly ever get in here. Okay, and the fridge, I think a lot of you wanted to see the fridge last time that I didn't show. This is a Dometic 2-way fridge. It powers on 12 volt or 110, and it switches automatically. When I plug in the 110, it switches, so we don't drain the battery on the camper. There's like a little lever that locks it. Okay, so this fridge is actually pretty good size for a small camper like this. We have one kind of tall shelf. I think we had another like shelf here that broke, no. Right? Or did we just not use it? No, this right here. Something broke, but this broke, right? There's like a little plastic piece that go in there so we can put more. Yeah, something broke. So that's gone. So we're not able to put anything up here. So then we end up with this kind of shenanigan. 2 main shelves and like a crisper thing down below. And freezer actually works really well. We can actually make ice in this little thing, even on 12 volt. So, fridge has been working pretty well, no complaints. All right, I don't think I left anything else on this end of the camper. The dinette. We have a 48-inch dinette, and that is specific to this model, this Grandby model. Otherwise, on the shorter version of this camper that fits on a 6.5 foot bed, this part stays the same. If you have the front dinette model, the dinette is shorter, so you lose about 1.5 feet. So you end up with 18 inches less, so 30-inch dinette instead. So we had to get this model because this is the only one that we know of that can fit on this truck without hanging over, that's relatively lightweight, that drops down for low clearance, that sleeps 5 people. So every night, Marlene and I sleep here. This turns into a bed, which is, this drops down, this becomes the insert for the bed, right? There's a ledge. So there's the ledge right there, and there's storage below. There's storage below, and then there's storage below me too. Table drops down, these cushions slide down. It makes a pretty good sized bed. And then up here, our kids sleep basically like that. Everyone wants to be close to Ava, so they all start drifting towards Ava. They sleep on the queen.
Next to Mila.
I know you're next to Mila. Okay, so this is the bed. This back half of the bed slides in and out. So right now it's slid about halfway out, as you can see. This black bar right here is where this part slides on. It can slide all the way out, another about 1 foot. So you can see when it slides all the way out, it only leaves you about this much dinette left. And there's extra cushions that go in here. This is the queen configuration. So if you have the queen configuration for adults, you sleep east to west like this. But with our kids, they sleep north-south, so they can sleep all 3 on top. And we don't even have the extra cushions. We have them in storage. So we pretty much leave it like this full time.
We don't push it back.
We don't push it back because we don't actually mind just kind of squeezing people. And Luca can actually sit under and back there on where the books currently are. So this table too is pretty flexible. It moves and swivels. So I like this configuration where we have the table turned to the side and then pushed against the cushion of that. So it makes like a 1-person seat there and like a 2-person seat there, but a lot more open space to get in and out, up and down from the bed. And if I'm sitting over there, I can turn sideways and work. Or somebody can put their feet up underneath the dinette. So this works out really well. That's our cat Yoda. She lives in here with us. She's a 14-year-old black cat who is the runt of her litter. And we took her in when she was, 3 weeks old? Something like that?
Yeah,
4 weeks old?
She's tiny.
Yep.
We got back from our honeymoon.
Yep. Just after we got married, we took her in. Okay. This is the window to the back of the cab. We opted to not have a sliding window for a couple reasons. One, we don't have a sliding window in the back of the cab of the truck anyway, so we can't get anything in and out of there. And two, we were recommended by the dealer because they said the window they use tend to leak a little. So unless they've changed the make and model or the supplier for that window or solved the leaking problem, be aware if you're looking for one. And we actually have had some issues with leaks. We don't know if it's leaking. Hi, Luca. We don't know if it's leaking or if it's condensation. As you can imagine, with 5 people in here, we generate a lot of condensation when it's raining like this, or if the temperature is cold out, we're running the heat inside. We can have water kind of dripping down the side. That's right. Good job, baby. We've had issues with, I think, this window behind us, behind Marlene, leaking. I think there's like a air gap or something underneath the window from the outside. When it was raining really hard a couple months ago, or maybe a month and a half ago, we were getting water coming in and then just draining into the bottom of this storage compartment underneath the dinette. So there was a lot of water. So I don't know if it's been resolved or not. It hasn't rained as hard since, so we don't know.
Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Condensation under this bed.
We have condensation under here, and I think it's from just water dripping down the side and then getting down and under and then sledding underneath. We used to store our Reflectix panels that we would use to kind of cover up the walls when it's really cold.
Still do. But the bottom of the cushions is this material.
Oh, hey, we have our old license plate. We don't even have this plate anymore.
You guys get throw it away. But it
Yeah, that's like a vinyl.
Yeah, so it doesn't soak in. It just sits.
Right, sits on the wood, which is bad. So I don't know if anybody else has that problem, and if you do, let us know. I believe this is just raw, untreated plywood.
Yeah, but it gets wet on the white part. This is just the sliding part. It's different.
Oh yeah, the other part has like a veneer on it.
Yeah, this part
But
doesn't
this
get
is the
wet.
slide.
The veneer part does.
Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, these are LED lights. They're very bright, and we have 3 of them. And they're actually a little too bright, which is why we tend to use this a lot. This gives out a warmer light. We actually have a couple of those. We have one like that too. We got another one like that. I don't know if you can tell, this is a slightly cooler color. This is the warmer color. And we also got a bunch of these, actually not a bunch, 2 of these LED light strips. And these are pretty cool. This is like a rope light that's LED, and it just got a USB plug on one end. Like one that plugs into a USB, like a battery pack. So then I've got like these little USB battery packs that power these. So these are kind of nice to have around. You can have them in the bag and then power it, and it becomes like a little hanging lantern. Or when you roll it out, this is 10 foot long, and you can kind of stretch it, hang it from corner to corner to get some more softer ambient light. So this is what we tend to prefer other than these, for a couple reasons. These pull power from the battery, whereas these have their own power that can be recharged anywhere. So if we're boondocking or we're not plugged in anywhere, which is most of the time, these are a better choice. And plus we like the light that they give out better. And I think that's it. That's it for the inside of the camper. It's raining now, so I'm not going to get into the outside, and this video is getting a little long. I will do a review of the outside in another video. And again, don't forget to subscribe down below and give me a like, thumbs up.